Charging by induction. When an object is brought close but does not contact a neutral object, the charge object can temporarily induce a small area of charge in the neutral object. So we call that a temporarily induced charge. So imagine, for example, that I have some object that is negatively charged. You'll notice all the extra negatives up here, and we bring that near some object that is neutrally charged. What happens is the charges in the neutral object that are close to the surface where the secondary object is coming in are repelled. In this case, the electrons will flee. When they do so, they move over here. What we get is a region of this material that's positively charged. This is a temporarily induced charge in this neutral material. What this means then is that this negative object and this positive object will attract. And this is why neutral objects are attracted to any charged object. Let's see how this works now with a positive object. So what we can see here is there's a deficit of electrons. A bunch of the electrons are missing from this positive object. And so when it's brought close to a neutral object, electrons from other regions in the neutral object will be attracted to this positive object, attracted in. What that means then is they will now be over here. They will have disappeared from this location or moved from this location. And this local region will have a negative charge. Again, these two charges are opposite, and so they'll attract. And so we can see both negative objects and positive objects attract neutral objects. They do that by either repelling the local charges away, creating a local positive region, or by attracting negatives in to make a local negative region. The change in the secondary object usually only happens when that other object is around, and if that other object is removed, those charges will go back to where they were in the first place. However, if we use a grounding wire, we can make this charge permanent. Imagine, for example, that I have a negative object and I bring my neutral object near to it. But in this case, unlike those electrons repelling but not really having anywhere else but the material to go, imagine that my neutral object is attached to the Earth. What that means then is that when these electrons in this local region would like to flee, they can flee all the way down this grounding wire into the Earth. So they can go all the way over here or all the way over here. Now, we still get a local region, and if we removed our charged object right now, it would still be temporary. They would come all the way back from the Earth back up to where they were. But imagine that right now we come along and we cut this grounding wire. What that means then is these negatives are now trapped in the Earth, and this charge has become permanent. That means now I can take my negative object away, and what was a temporary charged region has now become a permanent charged region because the electrons that would like to come back now no longer have a wire to travel back along. So that's charging by induction.